YouTube family and friends. My husband and I, my name is Shantae and my husband's name is Chris. Today we are going to bring you an update on our twins because back in February we did a gender reveal, revealing to you guys that we were having a girl and a boy. And we named them Brooklyn Grace and Noah Matthew. So it all started when I went to my OB appointment here in my city that I live in, which is Fort Smith and Arkansas. I went to my appointment and we did an ultrasound on the twins and they were both fine. They both had a heartbeat, a very good heartbeat, and everything was good, so we were happy with that. Then the very next day, we went to my maternal fetal medicine doctor, my high risk doctor in Little Rock, Arkansas. And the ultrasound tech came in, did the ultrasound, and we had my stepmother on the phone. And it was just me and my husband and my stepmother on the phone. And they did the ultrasound, and the ultrasound tech got done and she left. And then the doctor came in the room and said that our little boy did not have a heartbeat. Now, remember me telling you that the day before they both had a good heartbeat, everything was fine. And then that day, during the ultrasound, they found that he had no heartbeat. And we were all upset and crying because we didn't know exactly what had happened. We still to this day don't know what happened. So, um, fast forward to June 14th. I was having contractions all day. What I did not know was contractions. And we had went out to eat for our birthdays to Golden Corral. But I still mustered through the day, even though I was having contractions all day. Like I said, I didn't know what they were because they felt different to me than when I was pregnant with my first. And my due date was not till July 20th. So on June 14th, I started having contractions all day and they lasted through the night. This was on a Friday. And um, my husband got up to go to work Saturday morning. And I could not sleep in the bed. So I ended up coming out here in the living room and sleeping in my recliner the best that I could. I was still in so much pain. I didn't know what was going on. And he got up to go to work, and I got up and moved around and made him breakfast and things like that and got him ready to go to work, even though I was still having contractions. And 5 minutes before he walked out the door to leave to go to work, I got up and went to the bathroom, and my water broke all over the floor. And I was supposed to have the babies in Little Rock, which is 3 hours from Fort Smith. And I had a feeling that I was not going to make it to Little Rock because, like I said, we lived 3 hours from there. So my husband called a friend of ours, and she came over and instantly came over and took us to the emergency room, labor and delivery. And by the time I got up to labor and delivery, they checked me and I was already a 6 centimeters. So it's like, well, there would have been no way you would have made it to Little Rock. So you're going to have the babies here. And the reason why they wanted me to have the babies in Little Rock is because of the severity of Brooklyn's case. I never updated you guys on this, but ever since we found out we were first pregnant with the babies at a very early stage, we found out that Brooklyn has what you call hydrocephalus, which is fluid on the brain. And then she also has holoprosencephaly, which is, how our brain divides down the middle. Well, her brain, holoprosencephaly, is where her brain started to divide, but did not. It stopped right past the beginning. It just stopped. So it didn't divide anymore. So wherever the brain tissue did not form, there's fluid there. So, which makes her head a little bit bigger. So, in order for me to deliver her, I had to have a C-section because her head was so big for me to have her naturally vaginal birth. So, we had to had the babies here in Fort Smith, there would have been no way I was able to make it to Little Rock, being at 6 centimeters. So with the severity of Brooklyn, they really wanted me to have her in Little Rock, but like I said, we could not make it there. So what had happened is I went to labor and delivery. They rushed me up to a room. They checked me, and I was already 6 centimeters, and my water broke at home, so they didn't have to break my water. Now, when I had my first, my water never broke, so they had to break it for me. And um, when she was born, they had to use forceps to get her out because she would not come further down the birth canal. She just was staying there. So we had to have forceps to get her out. But with this pregnancy, Brooklyn's head was so big that I had to have a C-section. There had been no way to deliver her naturally. And so within an hour of me being at the emergency room, it was so many emotions for me and my husband because I was about to go back and have a major surgery within an hour of me being there. So they had to hurry really quickly because I was already at 6 centimeters. And if I would have tried to have Brooklyn with her head the size that it was, it might have killed me. So I had to have a C-section. I had no choice. It was either that or die. So, I had to do it. I just had to. So within 1 hour of me being there, they had me prepped for C-section. They gave me an epidural. They whisked me away and put me in the OR. It was so many emotions going on at the same time because I knew that I had to carry Noah from 30 weeks, knowing that he had no heartbeat, to when I had Brooklyn. I had no choice. I had to carry him with no heartbeat. And that was hard for us, specifically for me, because I knew he was in there and I knew I couldn't feel him kick or move anymore. So they whisked me back for the C-section. Within an hour, within an hour and a half, Brooklyn was here. Noah was born first, and they took him, and I don't know what they did with him after that because I couldn't see anything. But Brooklyn was born second. When they took her, I was waiting to hear her cry because the whole time I was pregnant, they were telling me Brooklyn's not going to be born alive. She probably will be. She would probably die before I had her, and but that never happened. She was born alive, and they would tell me if she happens to be born alive, she won't last long after birth. So she was born alive, and every time I waited to hear her cries, and I kept asking my husband, "Is she crying? Is she okay?" And I was just concerned about her. And eventually, after a few minutes, I didn't hear her crying. And eventually, I heard a little cry, so I knew she was alive. I knew she was breathing, and um, so what had happened after she was born is Angel One is what they call it. It's like care flight for the babies. They had came and they took Brooklyn away. I didn't even get to hold her. They took her away and flew her to Little Rock. But I had to stay in the hospital for, I think, 2 days. And it was hard for me being here. She was all the way there and I couldn't hold her. I couldn't see her. It was just hard. Sorry. But I was okay. I got out in 2 days and I was able to come home, and we were trying to get on Ronald McDonald House, and because I knew I knew just the severity of Brooklyn's case. I knew I was gonna be in Little Rock for so long, and then I had my 2-year-old here as well, and I didn't want to be away from her because she's not used to being away from Mama. So I was trying to get into the Ronald McDonald House, so we got on the list there, and thankfully within a couple of days they called us and had a room. So the lady that took us to the hospital when my water broke, she came, and we all went to Little Rock, and I was able to get the room, and we were there for 2 months. And before we went to Little Rock, I went to the funeral home and was making arrangements to get Noah. We did not bury him. We wanted him cremated only because um, I want Noah to be wherever I am. So if I'm here in Arkansas or if I'm in Ohio, wherever I am, I want him to be with us where he belongs. If I bury him here in Arkansas and we move to Ohio, then I won't be able to go see him or leave flowers for him. So I figured I want him to be where we are. So yes, he's been cremated and we have him, but I was not able to pick him up until we came home from Little Rock. But here is his little urn. It's blue and silver and it has a little teddy bear on it. So this is Noah Matthew Boyan. And he was born June 15th and he was 1 pound, 14 ounces. And this was Brooklyn's twin brother. So this is Noah. And we will forever have an angel. It's just hard to talk about. But when I arrived in Little Rock, and I knew we were going to be there for a while, and I knew we were going to be there for a while, so we got the Ronald McDonald house. We moved all of our stuff into the Ronald McDonald house, and we did have a pet here at home, but my mother was taking care of him the whole 2 months we were gone. And you may have seen the videos of us posting of Elizabeth playing at the hospital and Ronald McDonald, and we met some really nice people there, and the nurses and the doctors were all very nice and very understanding. And they're probably not going to see this, but I want to thank them for saving my baby. So, but we got there. Brooklyn was admitted to the NICU already when I got there. Um, we didn't get to hold her right away because of everything she had going on. There was just a lot of emotions going on and a lot of different things. When I first got there, she was, I think, like maybe a week or two, maybe a week after I got there, they did a shunt surgery. It's where they put a shunt in her brain and it drains like a tube down into her stomach. And it drains all the fluid from her brain to her stomach. And they told me the risk of this surgery was seizures. So that was scary in itself to know that she could be having seizures and after this surgery. And but we prayed. We prayed every day. I prayed through my pregnancy. I prayed the whole time she was in the NICU, and I still pray to this day for her. And they did the shunt surgery, and her oxygen, I think a day or two after, kept dropping, and her heart rate kept dropping, and they were like, we think she's having seizures. So they hooked her up to an EEG machine to monitor her brain to see if she was having seizures, and sure enough, she was having seizures. And they told me that this was normal. This is going to happen after the shunt surgery. And, you know, so they started to figure out what seizure meds would help her to control the seizures the most. And there was a couple times when I was in there with Brooklyn sitting at her side, and I seen Brooklyn have a seizure firsthand. It was silent seizure. You couldn't tell that she was having a seizure by looking at her, but when she would have one, it would drop her oxygen and drop her heart rate. So that's how we knew she was having seizures. One day I was sitting there and her heart rate dropped all the way to 20. And for me, sitting there, seeing it happen to her in front of my eyes was hard. So they were still trying to figure out what medicines to put her on that would help the seizures. And And the doctor told me, one of the doctors said, I don't think she's going to make it through the night, honestly. So we started crying, and they put Brooklyn in the room. And I asked him, I said, okay, since y'all think that she's not going to make it through the night, I want for my oldest daughter to meet Brooklyn. Since y'all don't think she's going to make it through the night, I want this to happen. So they made it happen. We was able to get Brooklyn and Elizabeth together and get some pictures of them together. And that's all we wanted, is for her to meet Brooklyn. So they made it happen, and it happened. And the next day I said, okay, if she makes it through this night, I want her to be baptized. And we started praying. The next day they came in and baptized her. And I kid you not, ever since that man came in and prayed upon Brooklyn and baptized her, she never had another seizure after that day. God really works miracles. I tell you, he does, because I prayed every day I was pregnant with her. I prayed every single day as she was in the NICU, every day. And I prayed that God would take this away from her, whatever she was having. Just take it away. And it stopped. She had no more. I mean, I'm sure it had something to do with the medicine they had her on, but also I think it had a lot to do with us praying for her, you know. So, yeah. Then after that, she was improving well after the shunt surgery. She had no more seizures. So they ended up moving her back to the NICU out of that room. And I think a week later, we were trying to work with Brooklyn on taking a bottle, but she wasn't doing really well with taking a bottle. So um, they decided to put in a G tube just to be safe, to make sure she would get the nutrients that she would, because they didn't think it was a good idea to send her home only on a bottle and not a G tube, because we didn't want her to aspirate. So we went ahead and put in the G tube, and she recovered well after that. And before we was able to leave the NICU, I had to go through training on how to take care of the G tube. I had to do stayovers, and with her, I could not leave the NICU until I knew how to do everything at home: medicine, feedings, formula mixing. I had the last 2 weeks we were there. I spent numerous nights and days at the hospital learning how to do the G tube care, how to feed her through the G tube, how to give her meds through the G tube, and everything before we was able to go home. So we were there a total of 2 months. Um, so yeah, she's fast forward to when we got home. They let us go home after I did all my stay-ins, room-ins, training. They finally let us go home. It was a sad day when we had to leave, because we met so many good people, so many good friends, um, so many nice doctors and nurses, and mainly her primary nurse. Almost said Tiffany. Mainly her primary nurse, Kelly. She was so sweet. She was so nice. She was so helpful. And we love her. And we still stay in contact with her today. So, and we just keep her updated on Brooklyn. And I'll, we're going to joke a little bit, because I told Kelly, I said, you're lucky we don't kidnap you and bring you home so you can care for Brooklyn at home. Because she was so nice. We miss her, and we love her so much. And before we left, we made sure we gave Kelly a gift to show her how much we appreciated her. So we gave her some candy and a picture of her and Brooklyn together, and a cup and a few other items. So we made her know that we appreciated her and loved her so much, and we miss her. And um, fast forward to when we got home, we had hospice care come and made sure that we had hospice care set up for here. So now that Brooklyn is home, she is on 1 liter of oxygen, and she's on tube feedings right now through the G tube, and I administer meds through the G2 for her seizures and anxiety and to keep her calm. At the end of this video, I will be inserting some pictures of Brooklyn of right after she was born up until now, so y'all can kind of see what she looked like when she was born and what she looks like throughout her few short months of life to now, just so y'all know what she looked like at birth to now. So her head's a little bit larger than a usual baby, but as of now, she's doing well. She'll be 5 months this month, and I can't believe she's already 5 months. I can't believe in December she'll be 6 months. She'll be half a year old, and she's really not. She's defying all odds, guys. Don't lose hope. If you are going through something like this, just pray, because it works. It works. She's not even supposed to be here with us, and I'm just grateful every day for her. I love her so much. Yeah, and her sister Elizabeth loves her so much, and I'm just glad she's still here with us, because each day you just never know whether one day to the next if she's still going to be here. So we try to love her and care for her. So she will always have an angel looking over her, Noah. So I just want to give you guys an update, but that's the update, and we will continue to update. I'm sorry this video took so long. It's just we've had so much going on, back and forth to Little Rock, back and forth to the doctor, and so I mean it's going to be a long, hard ride for her, but I'm praying that she will improve day by day, and that she will continue to live and continue to be here for us, because that little baby is not supposed to be here today, but I am so grateful for her to be here. And next year, we plan on moving to Ohio, so hopefully she will transition from here to there pretty well. I know we can't fly with her, so we're having to drive, and we probably have to cut that drive in half due to Brooklyn's conditions. So hopefully the transition from here to there with the doctors and everything will be a smooth transition, and we'll be able to get her to Ohio safely. So yeah, that's the update. I just wanted to give y'all an update on the twins, since we did do a gender reveal. So we got Noah cremated, and we've always got an angel watching over us. So just continue to pray for Brooklyn. At the end, I will post videos of, or pictures of her. And thanks for watching from Chris and I, Shantae. And if you like what you see, please like and subscribe, and give this video a like, and stick around for more videos. Thanks for watching. I love you guys, and just keep watching for more videos. Thank you. Bye. Bye-bye. I really try not to cry.